Right. Let's try again, eh? So let's go back to this proper screen and let's get there. So, sorry, got disconnected. Let's try again, shall we? With the Vesta's Art Oracle deck. Let's try. Hey, trouble. Let's try this, shall we? Okay, so I'm just not sure. I'm just waiting to see if anyone turns up. Okay, so I'm just waiting to see if anyone says hello or not. I'm finally getting my A and G. Done. I'm not sure if anyone's going to be around tonight. I did want to expecting tomorrow, not tonight. What a pain I got disconnected. Right. Right, don't know what's happening, so I'm just going to do a reading for today. Let's see what message I'm going to use. I'll use the Hecate's Crossing Tarot deck. Let's see what message we get for today. I haven't really done many, I've sort of taken a couple of days to sort of recover from Tuesday and Sunday and Monday. Let's see what card came out. Okay, we've got the 7 of Cups. Oh, that was a bit hard work. 7 of Cups talks about choices, options, also knowing that not all options or not all choices may not be the right one, so choose wisely. I mean, there's going to be some treasures in there, but we don't know what the treasures will be. Here we have the 8 of Cups. That was random. 8 of Cups to me is very much about walking away from something. So what have you been? What are you actually walking away from? What do you need to walk away from? What's important? Maybe you've had to walk away from it for some reason. Third card we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is about being in control. He's that ruler. You've got this guy who, or this person, that's quite strong in the way that they rule people. Or they're the boss, manager, supervisor. So when this card comes up, it can also speak about being in control of your own life. Maybe you're a father or a father figure on some level. So, we'll see. Cards fall on the ground because I can't pick them up so easy. Okay, here we've got 8 of Wands happening quickly, 7 of Wands and standing up for yourself, and 10 of Wands being battles and being burdens. Being burdened. So here. So we've got a sense of there are choices, there's options, so make sure you choose wisely. Maybe you need to walk away for some reason. It could be about being in control of your journey as well, or maybe you're coming into, maybe it's to do with you being a father. All this stuff going on is because of you being a father in some sort, or a father figure in some way. Or a role model. So it could be about being a role model in someone's life. It could be because things are happening quite quickly on the journey. It's very important that you maybe stand up for yourself at this time, even though you may be feeling burdened, feeling weighed down by what's going on. So who knows? Yeah. That's today's message anyway. Something to reflect on, something to think about. Warped perception. Maybe someone's got a warped perception about what's going on around you at this time. So someone could be seeing things from a different perspective, maybe not quite the truth, but not seeing the truth of the situation. Here we've got Spiral of Life, Triple Goddess. This could be about acknowledging your journey as you move through the processes, acknowledging Maiden, Mother and Crone. Look beyond the illusion to create your reality. So this could be about looking beyond the surface, which is quite important. Here we've got about finding your own balance. Being balanced. So here we've got cards where maybe you're not seeing things quite clearly. Might not be able to see the truth of the situation, or someone around you is not seeing the truth of who you are or what's going on. They've got a warped perception of you. It's all about acknowledging where you are in your cycle. Maiden, Mother or Crone, where are you? What phase are you in? Make sure you're looking beyond the surface. It's quite interesting here. I've got this and this one. Yeah, that's all about finding balance within one's life, in your life. Just really quick. So I don't know. This chair's a bit creepy. Don't know if you can hear it. But anyway. So yeah. Who knows what's going on? So let's just go back and have a look at YouTube. Have a look at subscriptions. Just want to see who's on. I'll just stay on for a bit of time. If nobody turns up, that's right. I'll see you all tomorrow anyway. This is just a bit of a mucking around, really. I just wanted to show you purchases that I did. So I showed them. I know some of you are going to sleep. That's okay. Just mucking around, really. I'm ready for bed, most probably. It's 10:15 here, so I won't be on for much longer. I just wanted to see if anyone was around. Done a reading for today, a little bit of a message with the Carte's Crossing Journey to the Crossroads Tarot and Vesta's Art Oracle deck. So yeah, quite happy with that. Just cruising. Just stay on till 15:15 maybe, and till 15, just 15 minutes. Just see how we go. If anyone turns up or not. I'm not surprised. Anyway, what I was talking about was my blog. You can check out my blog. There's my journal on here, tarot journal, where I do some spreads and things on there. So cool. I'm just mucking around just for something to do. Should be relaxing and taking it chilly. I know tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Don't forget to check me out tomorrow. I will definitely be online. I'll be a bit more organised, and we'll have we've got three types of readings basically: the Starman Tarot, Animal Wisdom Tarot, or the Angel Tarot. And you can basically decide which style of decks we're going to use tomorrow night. That's all cool. Just cruising. Could actually talk about. Let's have a look. we talk about? Actually, I might go through and do some angel meditation. Or daily meditations for women who love too much. Oh, this is interesting. I'll pick this up. Daily meditations for women who love too much. This is a book. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit glaring, isn't it? Let's see. That goes down a bit far. There we go. Daily meditations for women who love too much, Robin Norwood. Oh, this went the wrong way. I'm never good with these mirrors. These mirrors. Okay, so I'm going to read through some of these, I think, randomly. Okay. We do not enter insignificant relationships by accident. We are inexorably drawn to the partners with whom we have the opportunity to learn our most pressing personal and interpersonal lessons, acknowledging that we are not victims of, but rather volunteers for the challenges with which love presents us. Can we accelerate our learning those lessons? Let's have a look. Nothing in a relationship happens by accident or in a vacuum. That man or woman is exactly who they were meant to be when you met them and decided to be with them. We who love too much may be intrigued by and attracted to the very qualities we also decide to try to change in them. The first promise of recovery from relationship addiction. We accept ourselves fully, even while wanting to change parts of ourselves. There is a basic self-love and self-regard which we carefully mature and purposely expand. The second promise of recovery from relationship addiction. We accept others as they are without trying to change them to meet our needs. Number 3. We are in touch with our feelings and attitudes about every aspect of our lives, including our sexuality. We cherish every aspect of ourselves, our personalities, our appearances, our beliefs and values, our bodies, our interests, and our accomplishments. We validate ourselves rather than searching for relationships to give us a sense of self-worth. Our self-esteem is great enough that we can enjoy being with others who are fine just as they are. We do not need to be needed in order to feel worthy. We allow ourselves to be open and trusting with appropriate people. We are not afraid to be known at a deeply personal level, but also we do not expose ourselves to the exploitation of those who are not interested in our well-being. We learn to question, is this relationship good for me? Does it enable me to grow into all I am capable of being? When a relationship is destructive, we are able to let go of it without experiencing disabling depression. We have a circle of supportive friends and healthy interests to see us through crisis. We value our own serenity above all else. All the struggles, drama and chaos of the past have lost their appeal. We are protective of ourselves, our health and our well-being. We know that a relationship, in order to work, must be between partners who share similar values, interests and goals, who each have a capacity for intimacy. We also know that we are worthy of the best that life has to offer. First phase of recovery from loving too much begins when we realise what we are doing and we wish we could stop. As we stop loving too much, we no longer base what we say and do on how we think the other person will react. As we recover, what once felt normal and familiar begins to feel uncomfortable and unhealthy. Resentments are like a Frankenstein's monster in that they take on a life of their own, unless we work to free ourselves from them. If you are not careful, you'll find you have a pet resentment that requires daily care and healing. If we tell the story of our victimization enough times to ourselves, eventually we'll have to tell it to nearly everyone else as well. We do not receive more in life by wishing others less. Nothing in a relationship happens by accident in a vacuum. That person is exactly who he was when you met him and decided to be with him. We who love too much may be intrigued by and attracted to the very qualities we also decide to change in them. Do 2 things each day that you don't want to do in order to stretch yourself and expand your life of who you are and what you are capable of doing. So there we are. It's not really the book that I wanted to put out, but I just wanted to pick out. Just look. What else should we look at? Oh, the angel ones. I'm just cruising for now, looking around, giving you an assortment video. It says Angel Wisdom, 365 Meditations and Insight from the Heavens, Terry Lynn Taylor and Mary Beth Frame. An angel reminder, you can't take it with you, is a saying that refers only to material wealth and acquisitions. You can and will take with you all the gifts of the Spirit. Above all, most of us are seeking meaning in our lives. Sometimes, however, we don't even realize that we are searching for meaning. We only hope that somewhere deep inside of us is a gnawing void, an empty spaces yearning to be filled with something to warm our hearts and give our lives a sense of joyful purpose. The angels gently remind us that the only way for us to truly fill the void is by developing personal spiritual values. When we ask the angels for something in particular, they may not bring us something we think we want, but they will bring us something meaningful. Love, peace, joy, happiness, creativity, and humour are gifts the angels give freely to bring meaning into our lives. With such gifts, we are also given a new power of perception to help us detect what isn't meaningful to our growth and awareness. Pretend that your house is on fire and you only have time to save the 5 things that are most meaningful to you. What would those 5 things be? Why did you choose them? Think of some of the things you do that are not particularly good for you. Ask yourself if the motive underlying your actions is a need to find meaning in your life, to satisfy an empty space in your soul. An angelic reflection. The angels know that the only lasting gifts are those of the human spirit. As long as I have love, joy, light, and inner peace, my life will be full of meaning. It's quite a book actually, Angel Wisdom, Terry Lynn Taylor and Mary Beth Frame. Like a guardian angel whispering in your ear, Angel Wisdom puts you in touch with the warmth, encouragement and insight of your heavenly helpers every day. Some say angels, intermediaries from on high, have always been among us to give us hope and inspiration, to light our paths and make our steps lighter, and to show us that where there is life there is joy, but daily life being what it is, we can sometimes use a little help. As you flip through these pages, you'll see beautifully illustrated angels take wings, and you'll find reflections, reminders and exercises that bring grace, serenity and joy down to earth and within easy reach. So there you are, Angel Wisdom. Read a couple of things for you, reading for you to begin with, muck it around a little. Just chill, no biggie. Hopefully you watched the video beforehand, previous video, which would have shown you the things that I brought. And sorry that it disconnected, it was a bit of a pain. But it's life sometimes, isn't it? Always throws us a bit of a curveball sometimes. What else can I show you? Oh, I know, good. Something a bit different. show you something. Where is it? Let's look at VASTU. VASTU and 10 simple lessons. Vastu. This sort of interests me. I haven't really read it yet. It's by Bill Kiswillen. So, let's see what it says. Vastu is the Hindi word for abode, and Shastra means knowledge. These words describe a systematic approach to building and design that helps us live in harmony with our environment. Vastu Shastra has its origins in ancient Hindu traditions and has been used in India for many centuries. It is mentioned in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, two of India's classic epics. The rituals of Vastu Shastra are described in ancient texts such as the Sutras, Vedas and Puranas. As more and more Indians have travelled and settled around the world, they have taken their culture, food and beliefs, including Vastu Shastra, with them. Although it is rooted in Hindu culture, Vastu Shastra can be used by anyone, whether they belong to a religion or not. The concepts evolved during the 6th or 7th centuries, but it was in the 10th or 11th centuries that the two Vastu Shastra books titled Manasara and Mayamatam were written. The earliest known Vastu Shastra practitioners were the builders and architects Vishwakarma and Maya. Sorry, my Hindi is really bad. According to the Vedas, each person has 4 purposes in life. The first is karma, meaning emotional and sensual pleasure without causing pain. The second is artha, meaning our materialistic wishes and the actions that make everyday life more enjoyable. The third is dharma, meaning doing our duty to ourselves, to our family and to society. The fourth purpose, the most important, is moksha, which deals with our need for spiritual growth, our liberation from material needs, and our journey towards nirvana or enlightenment. When we achieve moksha, we escape from the cycle of birth and death and are truly liberated. Everyday life is an essential ingredient in achieving moksha, and therefore the house plays an important role in helping us to achieve our goal and purpose in life. Okay, the aims of Vastu Shastra. Okay, VASTU SHASTRA. In its most complex form, sets out the designs and dimensions to be used for all kinds of buildings. These were dictated by the social status of the people who would use the building, whether it was a palace for a king, a temple for a priest, a camp for a warrior, or a home for a labourer. This aimed to create a congenial environment for each and every person of each and every stratum of society, so they could live in true harmony with nature and the cosmic forces. While the acquisition of wealth is all too frequently the most important objective of many people in today's society, the principles regard wealth creation as a second priority, although increased wealth can come as a result of fulfilling the prime objective of living in harmony with the environment. The environment and climate, as well as the plot of land upon which the house was to be built, had a very strong influence on the designs. Different designs were used for people living in, say, Rajasthan in northern India to those used for people living in Kerala in southern India. The variations were slight, perhaps seemingly insignificant to an outsider, but nonetheless necessary. Whatever the differences, however, the fundamental principles were always maintained, and one of the basic aims was to provide such a comfortable home has remained most important. The creation of a home that could bestow peace of mind and become one of the cornerstones of a blissful, although perhaps hard-working life, was always the intent behind Vastu Shastra. It is a fundamental belief that this goal can be brought about by enhancing the positive cosmic energies and neutralizing negative energies. The importance of creating harmony with the environment. The wisdom of Vastu Shastra is founded on a belief that a divine relationship is shared between the people who live in a house and the building itself. This treats the building as a living entity and the people residing there as its companions. Many people in the West can empathize with this concept of a personal relationship between an individual and their house. The house protects and shelters us from adverse weather and from the outside world. We in turn should look after our house, cleaning and maintaining it. The positive environment created by the bond between home and occupier becomes an important factor in the well-being and success of the occupants. By endeavouring to live at ease and in harmony with nature, we can help to make our everyday life more pleasant and to make every day count. In India, although many millions of people live in poverty, they are still house proud. It is immaterial to them that the house of which they are so proud might be just a little room shared by a big family. They accept the importance of their bond with their family and do everything that they can to maintain and nurture it. The environment in which each individual lives is important, and the location of the house, the shape and size of the plot, the location of each room, the function of each room, the location and the size of windows, the location and size of doors, the colour schemes, even the material used in the construction has a rule that governs it. Traditionally, to break any of these rural laws was seen as working against nature, although in today's world we sometimes have little choice in the matter. Since the house is an extension of the owner and also a dwelling of the gods, it is believed that a positive environment will keep the gods happy and also enhance the good fortune of the residents. If you want me to continue, let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll work out what day we can look into this and at what time and stuff like that, and I can read a bit more. It's just a bit of an introduction. See, I live around the corner from a second-hand bookshop. I've got an amazing section with some stuff, so I've got to stay out of it. I can't go in there all the time, otherwise I end up with a big pile of books that I end up carrying, so ridiculous. So anyway, there's a few books looked at with the Woman Who Loved Too Much, the Angel Meditations, and the Vastu. Okay, looks like no one's coming to see me tonight. I think everyone's waiting for tomorrow when I'll do readings. So, take care. Half an hour, that's long enough. Cruising around. I'm going to go to bed. Catch you later. It's 10:35 p.m.